Oh, I'll just double check. Yep, microphone work. Yep, so today we're talking about two array methods, two built-in helper functions in JavaScript that come in really, really useful. We're talking about array.filter and array.find. So, what do they do? What do they look like? So, that's the general syntax. Just calling find or filter on an array. Should have. Can you check for me? No? Okay, let's double check that then. It says it's streaming, so I don't know where we're streaming to. Is working? Yeah. Okay, okay. Kadiri.com/live. Yep, Kadiri.com/live. Okay, so array.filter, array.find, and they both take just one argument, and that is a callback function. Now, this callback function is a little bit special in that it needs to return a true or a false value. So we could call it almost a test condition. We will see obviously examples of this later as we go through, but for now, notice that they're very, very similar in their syntax. So there are a few differences, but the key difference that we'll touch on now before we look at any examples is in the return value itself. So array.find will return the first element in an array that passes our given test that we write in the callback function, and array.filter will return a new array of all the elements in our array that we've called it on that pass the given test. So array.find returns one value, array.filter returns an array of possibly many values. Okay. Won't worry too much about that, but we'll actually look at some examples now in DevTools. So if you want to open DevTools as well, and you can play around and code along with me. Just make this a little bit bigger so we can all see. Alright, so what we've got here is an array of numbers, and it's our task to just check whether a given element is in that array. So I've set it up to begin with using find, and your job is to help me write the callback function. So what has this callback function itself got to return? A boolean, yeah? Yep, definitely. So a true or false value, a boolean. So we're going to invoke the function down here, and I'm going to pass the value 4 into it. So how can we write our callback function to find that value of 4? Anyone want to start me off? It's a function, so I'm just going to write the function keyword. Do you want to pass it an argument, Davide? Number? I'm going to call it num for now, just because we've got number already. Equals. What, like that? Like that? Ah, okay. You want to do an arrow function, but I've already written the function keyword, so let's do it as long form for now, and then we can make it something like that. Okay, so we're returning something, and we want to return a Boolean value, yeah?
So number equals
Number equals?
equals
2, 3? Definitely 3?
Three, please.
Good. Two's evil, yeah? Douglas Crockford.
Equals number, no?
Equals number.
Or you have to pass the number on the top as well. Ah, no, is it already the
Should we try it first?
the index now?
Who's happy with that as it is?
Num equals 4.
So let's try and make our function dynamic based on whatever we pass in here, which we've called number. Yeah. I mean that would work in this case. Yeah. So I'll leave it like that then, and then I'll change the value down here later. Shall I run it? See what happens?
Me personally, what I would do is just passing as well to the function the number variable down at the top. So we're receiving from there, and then in the return statement, I will put also no.
Yeah, sure. We're not using this at the moment, are we? Yeah. Okay. So let's run it. And it returns. Oh, we've got an invisible breakpoint happen somewhere. Don't think there's any visible, but so you can see it returned down here just the value. Yeah. So it worked. Can we make it dynamic by putting number in there as Walter suggested? Let's see. Let's see.
I think where you have a zombie breakpoint.
I have what? Sorry, where?
You have a zombie breakpoint hidden somewhere. It's not visible. But you see the arrow.
Was it 112? It says.
On the right hand side. Top right.
Top right. Oh, here.
Yeah, click on it.
Okay.
Maybe now.
What? Close something. Don't think it's in this file. It's not any of those. Save it. Alright, so coming back to this then. So we've passed in the number 4. Let's pass in number 9 just to be a different one. Is that present in our array, number 9? Yep, so it's there. These are mainly square numbers, by the way, guys, just to for a shortcut. So if we're saying we've created our function, does number equal number, which is 9 in this case, will that bit return true or false? Or something else? Not sure? Okay, let's try.
It's going to return 9.
So it returns 9. Yeah, exactly. Now, I sense a little bit of confusion in the room, so maybe I need to explain what this num is doing. So let's rewrite this first as an arrow function, because I think it's a little bit easier to read, and that's how we tend to write find and filter, using arrow functions. So we can have our argument, just one argument of num, yeah? We can turn it into an arrow function. So this num here, now what find does is it goes over each element in the array, checking this function against each element. So on the first iteration, what would be the value of num?
1 equals number, which is going to be 9, so false.
So just num itself, not the whole statement.
Num is 1.
Num is 1, yeah. And on the second iteration, 4, third, 9, and so on, yeah. So it checks it against those. So if we put a breakpoint here, which is what we were trying to do earlier, we should be able to see that. It's not going to let me put one now. Let's say... okay, right. So now when we run it, it should pause on this line every time it hits this line. Just clear my console so we can see what's going on. Okay, as we said, on the first iteration, num is 1, and it should give us the value of number as well, which is 9, because we passed it in down there. Yeah, so that number is available throughout this whole function, Walter, yeah? A number is still being used within this function. Okay, so if I step through onto the next iteration, we can see that num's changed to 4. Step through again, and num will be 9, yeah? If I step through 2 more times, what will happen? Let's see, shall we? So Vivian said it won't go anywhere. So we've got 9. If we step through again, oh, it's finished. Yeah, so why did that happen? It's found something, right? Yeah, so yeah, so when find actually does return a true value here, that will stop. It won't go through any more values. It's found what it wanted. Even if we had another 9 here, the first element that matches that returns true for our test condition. Yep. So even if we have another 9 here, that is not going to affect the result. It's still just going to run once, twice, 3 times, pause, well, stop, and then return the value that it found. Yeah. So that was find in that situation. If we used filter instead, how will that affect the result? It's going to find 2 9s, yeah, and it will return an array as well. So how do I amend that function to use filter instead? Yeah, simply because they're very, very similar in terms of their syntax, we can replace find with filter, like so. Save that. Let's run it now. So we've still got the breakpoint in there, so we still should be able to see it iterating over. Okay, so we're on number 1 at the moment, number 4, number 9. This time it keeps going, even though that has matched true once. On to 4, 36, 36, 9, so it's matched that as well. Will it keep going now? It's got all the matches, right? It'll still go, won't it? Because there might be another match. So 16, 49, and then it returns, as Nico said, an array with everything that matched. 9 and 9. Yeah?
So you can do the same with objects instead of integers, and you receive objects complete. Yeah? Basically.
So how would you match an object? That's a bit trickier. A bit trickier to compare objects. We'll probably touch on that later in the course. We might look at matching values within objects in a later example if we get the chance. Yeah.
A chance to use find myself to start from the first element, look for the last. If I want to find the last element, just start from the last.
If you want to find the last matching
So the last
element.
one, I don't want to look from the beginning.
You want to look from the end.
But reverse, change, no, start. No. There's a way. One more. Okay, I'm asking if there is a way or not.
The question is there any find right? Yeah? No, I think there's any find right.
It's a reduce, right?
There is a reduced right that
But-
we're learning in the future, but there isn't an easy way. You need to clone the array, then reverse it,
Ah,
and then find.
okay. Because I remember in the loop there is also a way to start from the last step. When they could do len minus conjure, there is something that we can do also with find.
You can always use a classic for loop. For I equals array of length minus 1, I greater than 0, I minus minus, then you can check from right to left.
Now we find only from
The find is not possible.
No. So find always goes, from left to right in the order of the elements that they appear in the array. Okay. Cool. So let's look at just a slightly different example. Any questions on that one, by the way, from anyone first? No? All fairly...
Something that I didn't understand that you said at the beginning, that if you're returning a boolean, you said.
I said this bit here, this statement here returns a boolean, but filter or find itself so filter returns an array, as we can see down here, of all the values that were true for this bit. This is our callback function, yeah? So our callback function returns true or false, that returns a boolean, but the result of filter is an array of the values that return true for our callback function. Nah?
More or less.
More or less.
Because if you tell me that it's going to return a boolean, I imagine it true or false, not a number. So how would you explain it in another word?
You speak louder, please. You cannot hear the conversation.
I'm just saying that I don't understand that
Sorry. Never mind. It's a question for you. Thank you.
when they say that it's returning a boolean, I just don't understand that.
So Sullivan's confused when we're saying we're returning a boolean. Yeah? So we could say that our callback function evaluates to either true or false, and then find or filter returns a value or an array. Yeah, because it's an inner function. Yeah.
Okay, in which case it would return a false? How would you make it to return?
Find and filter never return true or false, but the inner callback is evaluating to true or false.
Okay.
Yeah. Can anyone else? Is anyone else confused about that point, or can you explain it in different words than I am?
What happens if you return hello, for instance?
Here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. What do you think is going to happen, guys, if I return hello?
It's a string, probably.
All right, as a string.
It's a good question, actually. Oh, well, hello is translated as a true, maybe, because it's a string. No, it doesn't work.
So Walter's saying it translates to
So it's going to
true.
return everything.
One hello for every number, no?
Yeah, it's great. We
Yeah.
need some points for the both sides.
Yeah. So just down here.
Yeah.
We should return breaks.
Oh.
Is really possible.
So we've got Walter is saying that this evaluates to true. So what will that return?
Or breaks, I think it's gonna break.
You think it's going to break now? Okay.
Or second case is gonna return the whole array complete. That's what it is.
Which one are you going for?
I go for the first one. To be honest.
Break. Yeah. Anyone else? Agree? Disagree?
I agree. I think it's gonna break.
Two hellos.
Two hellos. That was Bouquet. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for me, an hello for every number.
And Davide said what? Sorry.
An hello for every number.
A hello for every number. So that's going to be lots of hellos. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Davide. Is that how you spell it, Davide? No, not quite. That'll do. And you said many hellos, yeah? Anyway, we've got many undefined. Okay.
I think hello for every number that matches.
Every number that matches, but we're not testing any numbers.
But
Sorry.
the number for every 9.
Empty array,
For every
Nico,
9.
now?
For every 9 a hello.
Anyone else?
So 2 hellos as well, that's, I would say.
Two hellos as well.
There are some points in the both sides, guys. Whoever has the right answer here.
How many points do you think, Ricardo?
Okay, up to you.
Two? I think two is fair for this one. Anyone else? Any other guesses? Goa?
Can I put at the
Helen.
end as well, return all the arrays? No, I cannot put toy.
No? No one else?
I'd say 1 hello.
Yep.
One.
Just the whole thing undefined.
Because hello can return into a true, no? If you
Oh.
convert hello to boolean,
How? Same.
Uh,
What, undefined?
1 hello.
One hello. Oh, we haven't had one hello.
No one said hello yet, right?
No? Oh, no, that's not copied that one. Oop. Return the number that's been passed to it. So in this case, 9. Once? On its own? Oh, good question, Ricardo. We've got many different answers. So just a 9, like that. Yeah? Okay.
I don't know. No one.
That's interesting because I prove that no one understands how filter works apart from one person.
Yeah, we're on filter, guys, yeah? So we said that filter always, so you can't change your answers, but filter always returns an array of the things it matches. And if it doesn't match, I don't know if we covered if it doesn't match yet, but if it doesn't match, it returns an empty array. So, let's run it and see what we get. Oh, we've got some breakpoints as well. I should have removed the breakpoints, but that's fine. We'll just quickly get through those. Wow, look at that. An array of 10 elements. Is it 10 elements? Yep.
It was my second option. It's not valid.
You went with the wrong one, Walter.
Next time.
What? So why? The key thing is why is it doing that then? So I think you gave us the reason as well, Walter, right? You said
Yes, hello, it's turned convert to true, no?
'Cause
If
hello
you
is-
convert hello to boolean, it's true. So filter does that implicitly.
so. Hello's truthy, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. We're not going to test all other truthy values and stuff now, are we? Or do you want to do a falsy one?
None. What if you put none? No, return nothing.
Or like that?
Not a number. None. The cube.
Oh,
No, that's a
that one.
Oh, you
So is there still 2 points up for grabs for this one then?
put the string. I don't know. So maybe what?
But that's a complex example, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna say.
Well,
What happens if it's not defined? No?
You put Peter, you turn Peter as a string.
If you put filter, it's the same.
Sometimes you need to assume.
You're saying it won't return anything, but it returned everything when we had hello as a string.
But if you return when defined, it's false. It doesn't return nothing.
Mhm.
So who thinks it will return the same?
Yeah.
Yeah? And who thinks it will return something different? Okay. Oh, I still forgot to remove the breakpoint. My fault. Still the same, yeah? Because the string is truthy.
So can we say that on that line on 16 we set the condition to decide whether each number is kept or discarded?
Yeah.
So if the condition is truthy, the number is kept. If the condition is falsy, the number is deleted. Yeah? So is a string truthy or falsy? Truthy. Is the number 79 truthy or falsy? 79 is false, right?
It's not that.
No, I mean the condition. So here the complex line is
If
number
you put
16.
zero,
Yeah.
zero there.
So that condition is either evaluated as something truthy or falsy. If the result is truthy, the num value will be kept.
Kept, yeah.
If that line returns falsy, NUM will be deleted from the result. Yeah? So do you think the 79 is something truthy or falsy?
False. We don't access it.
All the numbers are truthy.
And zero is
0 is a correct yes.
Davide, we're not doing num equals 79
Correct.
because
Correct.
that would be false because
Yes.
or falsy
Yes.
because there's not a number in here. We're just evaluating 79 on its own. Is that truthy or is that falsy?
Yes.
Yep.
Num equal 79 returns what? False. Is false truthy or falsy?
Did anyone say true? False is definitely falsy. Okay.
Also understand the difference between true
Do
and truthy.
double
False and
is
falsy.
that 3?
Yeah. The true Boolean is truthy. But if I display
We'll do that in a second.
hello is not equal to true, but it's truthy.
79 is true.
Correct.
Yes. 79 is truthy.
No, you didn't have to.
So, where's the breakpoint now? Is there one up there? My God.
It said num
Zero,
double equal 79. It became the same
what
number.
about?
So without anything is true.
Falsy. You want to run into it.
So you're saying that, yeah?
Yeah.
So num equal 79. What will that return?
True.
Truthy. Why truthy?
Because the double equal is true.
No.
No?
No.
What's the double equal doing then?
If you put in the array 79 with in a string, it will return true.
No. Why would that return?
No,
True.
in the array, no, in the array.
Oh, in here?
Yeah. If
Yes,
you put there
yeah.
string 79,
If we had a
it will return.
79 up here,
But
yeah,
it's
of
an
course.
array, it's an array with
Giving us a string.
It's a
the
string.
string.
oh, it's a string. Okay, right.
Okay.
In this case, it's true.
So this one, what will this return? True. So this bit, this line will evaluate to a truthy value. You're saying it will evaluate to true. Yeah. So what will the final result of invoking filter be or calling filter be?
79.
No, 79.
70 array, 79. Anyone else? 70. So you
I
think
guess I
that
have.
function will put the number
That
79.
is the point. It's true. The string, when the string is very similar to the number, it's double equal.
Davide, you're saying
In this case,
79?
we should have 79.
Anyone else?
99%.
Like that as well? Oh, so not Carl. Walter? Say 79.
100%. I bet my house.
Bet your house.
Yes.
Bet his
Kiss.
house. Okay.
It's a hard player. Don't worry with him.
Where do you live, by the way? I'm quite interested for later.
Who say that? No.
Who says different? Who says different?
Yeah,
We
we
got
got
your house there.
Okay.
Phuket?
So who gets 70 array?
Empty array? Okay. So most people say 79, right?
Yeah.
And we're using filter, just to clarify, right? So let's run that. Oh, where are these hidden breakpoints? Okay, we got through it. 79 in an array, so it's returned an array. I don't think anyone got that perfectly correct.
But it's a string versus a number.
Huh?
Yes.
No, it's just a string.
So filter always returns an array.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah? Unless we break something, and, you know, syntactically that doesn't work. And in this case, it said, is there the value 79 anywhere? So I think it converts to string by default, right? Yeah, so it would convert this value up here to 79 string as well, and then compare those. Are they the same? Yes. So that bit would evaluate it to true, which is truthy, and then it would have returned the element at that point in its iteration and put that into the array.
I have a question on this one.
Yeah.
79, the condition we're looking for is a string 79,
Mm-hmm.
but the array is comprised of numbers.
Yep.
At which point does it convert that string into a number and then convert it into
At which point?
yeah.
Well, when we run this line on the last iteration of
Because when
filter.
you're on line 16, for me,
Yeah.
that's still false because the string 79 is not equal to number 79.
It's not straight.
Have you got double equals or triple equals?
The double
Three equals to will be false, and 2 equals to it wouldn't be false.
Yeah.
The 3 are straight.
So this is why double equals is evil, because we can get these confusing situations where the string 79 is not actually equal to the number 79, right? So we're not doing a proper comparison. So to avoid confusion in your programs, always use triple equals.
So what will it return now?
So now we're going for empty array, okay? Empty array.
Ooh.
Well done, yes. Because we have no truthy matches in there anywhere. So it always returns an array, empty array. Alright. Let's mix it out one more time then. Let's do find.
Instead of without anything, to return it's always true.
Let's go back to number 9, I think. Number 9? What's it returning?
One number 9.
One number 9? Two number 9. Okay, so
Array with 2 numbers.
we've got.
It depends how many numbers we have.
So Walter said.
It's filter or find?
Sorry, not 2, 9.
Fine.
Find, we did.
Now it's in fine.
Fine.
One.
1 in an array?
No, it's just number 9.
Mine
Said 9.
9.
David says 9? Uh-huh. Anyone else? Helen, I think you said 9 as well, yeah? Anyone disagree with any of those 2 answers? I think Nico, you said it, alright. Let's run it. And we get 9. Just the value 9, okay? Because we're on find, which returns the value, not the first matching value. Only one matching value. Yeah. If this was an array of 9, and this was, oh no, maybe that's too confusing. I know I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Okay, how else can we change that then? So,
What if you
If-
compare against?
yeah, a number that's not there. Let's say 100, right?
Yeah.
So what will it return now?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What does nothing mean in JavaScript? Just empty
Empty.
string, 0,
Empty. 0.
error, null, undefined. Wow, we've got a lot of options again. Hold on, let's get some answers. I don't think anyone's got it fully right yet, or just exclusively. So there's still 2 points up for grabs, I reckon. So now we're using find. Our value here is 100. That doesn't look like it's in the array to me. So we're saying, what will this function return when we invoke it? With the number. Yeah, okay. Let's just delete that so we're not getting any confusion there for now. So, who's starting us off? Walter, what do you say? You got lost? Carl?
Can it ever return nothing?
I don't know, that's what we're finding out.
Or will it stay undefined?
You reckon undefined or blank? Undefined? Bouquet? All the numbers. Davide?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Let's say undefined.
It will return like an error.
Undefined or?
Because you remove the arguments. I don't know.
Suleiman,
It
error?
will return like an error.
Some sort of error?
It would say something like that.
Undefined, I think.
Like it's not in the array, but I don't know which kind of error is that.
Okay. Anyone else? Nico, Bellin, Vivian, undefined?
got an undefined from Lucia here.
Yeah.
These are flooring,
All the same thing?
Ready.
Or they haven't?
Okay, scroll to the top.
Scroll to the top so you can see it again.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's good.
So this bit here.
It's undefined.
It's very bright again today, isn't it? Very sunny. No? Not sure? I think this will be the last attempt, guys, because we're out of time, really. But I'll just summarise afterwards, but this will be the last example.
I'm sorry. Yes, 100.
Undefined, no?
You're going to guess 100. Gower, 100. Okay. Let's run it. Let's run it. Just check that breakpoint's not there. Doesn't seem to be. Undefined. Yeah, so well done to everyone who said undefined. We will make sure you get your 2 points. I'll leave them there and I can do that later. So just any more questions before we move on, and I'll just summarise.
What if we put a plus 0?
Plus
Because 0 is undefined, but plus 0 is not 0.
0.
Yes.
Alright, interesting. Do we think that's truthy or falsy in general? Shout it out. Is 0 truthy or falsy? Uh-huh. What about plus 0 then?
What's 0 in the array?
Correct. The book is completely right. It is considered the array, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Plus 0 minus 0. Is
Ve-
1 equal to 0? No. Is
Very
1
true.
equal to 0? No. Is 1 equal to no. No, they don't have any 0. So now we go well.
That will definitely be undefined.
That one,
And if we've got the normal 0 in there? 0. Yeah? So it's just get that as a number. Convert that to a number. Yeah?
And if you remove that number from 0,
We're gonna have to stop somewhere. Play around with it in DevTools yourself if you've got further questions, and then if it's not clear, then I think come back to us. Yeah, is that fair? Yeah, cool. So just the other key differences then we sort of found out through our experimentation. We said if the values, oh no, that's the iteration. Sorry. So if no true value was found, then find returns undefined, and filter returns an empty array. Okay, and just a key point to note as well that find and filter don't mutate that original array, so we could call it again and again, couldn't we, on that same array, and nothing was actually changed. So they're creating a brand new array that they return, if in the case of filter. Yeah, I'll share the slides with you, and I can share the snippets as well if you want, so you can play around with those. Leave it there, I think. Cheers, guys.